to this follow along video. To this time and date, I still do not know how long this will be, but roughly 20 to 30 minutes, maybe even a little bit longer, but never mind. The focus is on full body, but mostly movements on the floor layer. So you can use this as a warm-up, you can use this as a preparation for a practice session in the morning, in the evening. Generally, after this, your body should feel very, very soothed, subtle and relaxed. Without further ado, we will start on the floor. You can simply lie on the floor however you want to, with your feet in an upright position, arms to the side. And for about 2 or 3 minutes, simply lie there. You can do this with open eyes or closed eyes. And you focus on the length of your spine, so you try to be aware of your head and the pelvis and what happens in between. With every breath that you take, you try to relax the spine more and more into the floor and allow the spine to fully sink into the floor and flatten out. Try to sense if you have any tension inside of your body that you can let go of. Maybe you notice that you are tensing something in the face. Maybe you're holding something in your belly or the pelvic floor. Maybe you are tensing your fists slightly or your toes. And this is a very nice practice per se, to sense this tension and the ability to let it go. Let your breath become very fluid, soothing and full. And maybe while you are lying there, you feel a certain impulse or multiple impulses for small movements. Maybe you feel like that you need to wiggle your fingers or your toes, and at first you simply want to be aware of that without following those impulses. Especially if you are moving a lot, then the stillness part, lying still, can be quite challenging, so maybe you have directly this impulse to twitch here and there. Be aware of that without following. Slowly you can start to minimalistically follow those impulses. Maybe there's a wiggle inside of your index finger. Maybe there's a twitch with your eyelids. Twitches in your jaw and your toes. And you want to follow those impulses very raw, meaning no movement patterns or anything like that you already know. Simply raw movements, raw twitches, slight shakes maybe, whatever it might be. And over the course of the next 30 seconds, you can start to increase those impulses and act them out more, produce more big movements. And you want to let this game grow basically into a yawning game. That means imagine you're waking up from the bed and you're yawning, you're stretching yourself. And this is the intention now, right here. Starting with small impulses, letting them grow into bigger movements. Slowly finding nice stretches in your body. Your breath is flowing smoothly. you can start to explore different kind of stretches very intuitively, without too much thought. Stretching away limbs from your body, opening your mouth, stretching the jaw. For the next 30 seconds, let these movements grow even bigger. Greater movements. Maybe even you want to add some sounds, even some humming or some relaxing sounds, however you feel. Take one very big inhalation. And with the exhalation, slowly open your eyes and grab the outsides of your feet. Relax the heels to the floor. You want to have your arms on the insides and the knees on the outsides. Relax the head to the floor. And simply wiggle around from side to side very easily and smoothly. Try to relax your pelvis and your head more and more, that they can really fall into the floor. And with this wiggle, you want to initiate a rolling movement from side to side, keeping your head very heavy. Let your head roll from side to side, and the body follows. And you want to do this as smoothly as possible. Easy breath, easy body, a lot of lightness. From this movement, we want to start adding a nice stretch, meaning when we roll to the left side, stretching the left leg and letting the right leg follow and fall down towards the floor. Now I push into the floor with my left knee and pull up with my right knee and easily roll to neutral again and continue to the other side. Find a pace that suits you. Maybe you want to even add to this movement a nice breath pattern, meaning inhalating while falling down, exhaling while going up, inhaling while falling down, exhaling while going up, inhaling, falling down, exhaling, going up. We repeat the same thing but go to the diagonal, meaning rolling to the left but extending the right leg as far as possible. Heavy head, easy breath, rolling from side to side. With the repetitions, find more and more stretch in your legs, but very calm and very easily. Once again, heavy head, easy breath. We slowly get back to neutral, lying on your back. Slowly extending both legs upwards towards the ceiling and pulling the knees down towards the floor. And from this position you can find nice movements in your hip by opening up your legs, maybe more to the side, one at a time, finding circular motions in your legs. And enjoying the nice stretch in the inside, the back side of your legs. Easy breath. Let go of the left leg. Put it onto the floor. Easy, comfortable position, and simply grab the right leg. Pull it into your chest as much as possible, so you have a nice stretch in your bum. And while pulling it towards your chest, you also want to extend it out and back in again, so you have this double stretch of the inside inside, outside of your legs and your bum. Very easy and relaxed. And from here you have all the freedom to perform this movement in different angles. Sometimes maybe going more to the outside, sometimes going more to the inside again, or directly straight. Remember that you want to breathe easily and lightly. And switch legs and continue with the left leg in the same manner. Grabbing, pulling towards the chest, feeling the nice stretch in your bum, extending out. And bringing back in. Perform in multiple angles, sometimes more towards the side, sometimes more towards the diagonal, the other side. If you feel like you can't really reach your feet, you can also use a little prop like a towel wrapped around the foot and hold on to it like this. But I feel like this should be possible for most people. Wonderful. Also let go of this leg, put it onto the floor. And we continue now with some core activation out of my Snakelike core protocol, which should enable the torso to move freely around the space with a lot of suppleness, lightness, but also strength. So we start with straight legs. Arms go to the front, we tuck the chin, and very slowly, vertebra by vertebra, rolling up as far as possible. Extending your feet, pulling in the toes a little bit, and searching for length, meaning going with the top of your skull all the way to the front, rolling back down again, very slowly and easily, and repeating for 2 more times, rolling up, peeling off the back vertebra by vertebra. If your feet hover in the air, that is completely fine. Finding length and stretch, rolling back down. And once again, rolling up, finding length. All the way to the front. Rolling back down. We repeat the same thing, slightly rolling towards the left so that the right shoulder is in the air and the right bum is in the air. Doing the same thing but going up diagonally, using the side, and finding also a nice diagonal stretch towards the other side. Rolling back down on the left. Coming up towards the right. Easy breath. Reaching. Coming back down. And once again. Rolling to the other side and continue here. From a different angle. Some rotation with the spine. And rolling down slowly. Wonderful. Rolling onto the stomach. Now, I have an extra video about the Snakelike protocol. It is linked in the description and should also appear somewhere here, so you can simply click and view the whole protocol if you want to do movements only for your spine, core activation, We won't go too much in depth right here, but everything is explained in the separate video. So now with this one, there is a point at the ceiling that is directly above you. While lying on the stomach, having your feet on the floor, the knees slightly bent, without touching the floor with your arms, you want to look at this point and you want to basically figure out a way how to do it. So twisting, opening up, activating your back, constantly trying to look at the spot above you. Easy breath as much as possible. Same idea, but trying to look over the left shoulder at the right heel and over the right shoulder at the left heel. Alright, wonderful. Give it a quick breather, quick rest, and we continue in a more technical fashion. Starting once again in this lying position, feet planted on the floor, knees slightly bent, arms pulled in. Now, without touching the floor with your hands, arms or shoulders, extend the right arm to the front, searching for a lot of length, keeping the arm hovering, rotating onto your back without changing the legs, and pulling the arm in. Finding a lot of rotation. Let go of the head for a quick moment. And reverse once again. Lifting up, extending the arm forwards, finding space to roll, pulling the arm in, repeating with the other side. Left, roll, pulling in, rotation, extending out. Finding a nice rhythm in this movement. Nice, easy flowing breath. And really focus on the sensation of full body rotation, full body spiral from the right toe towards my left finger here and my nose. I have a lot of rotation and a lot of length. And again. One last time each side, extending out, a lot of length, reaching, rolling, and finding neutral again. Wonderful. From here, you roll onto the back and start this exploration with legs in the air, arms in the air, head heavily on the floor, and finding a minimalistic lift of the pelvis into the air. Very minimalistic. It does not need to be a full lift off, because in this full lift off there is a lot of movement happening in the rest of the spine, and we want to isolate only the pelvis. Very easily. From here, doing the same thing, but adding a little bit of rotation. Coming up, a little bit of rotation. Easy breath. And relaxing for a quick moment, breathing, shaking out. Now we go to the pattern that we want to practice. I will show it from this side and then turn around. So basically we are doing a constant figure eight with the legs. Every time we are in the middle, we pull the legs in. Every time we go out, we extend and open the legs a little bit. Figure eight, figure eight, figure eight. Now, while doing this, we want to add hip switches, meaning when we go with the legs towards the right, at the moment we switch to the left, the pelvis should follow and go towards the right. Legs go to the left, switch, switch, switch. At first you can support yourself with the arms, so you can press a little bit. Later on, no arms, head heavy on the floor, and finding this nice figure 8. Every time making sure to pull the knees in, extending out, pulling in, extending out. Easy breath. And resting for a moment, shaking out the body, deep breath. From here we try to combine what we have learned. So we have a lower body spiral and we have an upper body spiral. If we combine both together we have a full body spiral. Now the aim of this one is to have only the torso touching the floor, and not only the whole torso, but just the middle part of the torso, meaning pelvis and shoulder girdle always need to come off the floor, no matter in which position. Right here, lifting everything on the side, lifting everything up. On the belly, lifting everything up. Right? So we want to initiate the movement with one spiral of the lower body. The lower body carries us into this belly position, and the upper body spiral carries us back onto the back. Other side, we have the legs. The rest of the body is following. Arms reaching, knees pulling in, and we recover. I will perform it like this, Flo, you will perform it like that. Exactly, wonderful. And you take a look and try to follow us. Starting with the legs. Legs are pulling in very easily. Arms are following. And continue. Legs, arms, easy breath, lifting everything off the floor, making sure to only roll on the middle part of the torso. Think about leverage. The more you extend arms and legs, the harder it gets. So try to keep them relatively close to your body. Easy breath. Very nice. Last one. And recover for a moment. Very deep breath. If you want to, you can close your eyes for a quick second. Simply feel the activation of your torso now. Alright, we continue with the following. The feet are planted, like so. Arms are in a T position out to the side. You constantly want to create big arches with the arms over your head. Now, from this position, dropping the knees towards the right and coming very close with the elbows, also on the right side, curling in a little bit. Opening up. And going to the left, finding length and more in this embryo position. Other sides, closing in, coming back up, closing in, coming back. Easy breath, very light movements. Now, continuing, that means bringing the elbow very close into the crease of the hip, circling with the upper body and the head, making sure to roll over the side of the arm onto the hands, and finding ourselves in this figure 4 position. Hands on the floor, elbow very close towards the crease of the hip, Upper body dips forwards and slowly circles to the side, so we don't need any strength. Opening up and continuing to the other side. Elbow into hip, circling, up to sitting, other side. Constantly finding easy ways into the floor, out of the floor. The bigger the circle you draw with your head and upper body, the easier it gets. One of the mistakes is coming up here diagonal, like a push-up or sit-up, which is not what we want to do. Easy into the floor and out of the floor. Now, from the sitting position, we extend the legs and do exactly the same thing with a different setup. So from here, finding a circle, hands into the floor, straight legs rolling onto your back, continuing to the other side. So the same thing with completely straight legs. From one side to the other side. Here you need to find strategies to really use your arms and elbows in an efficient way. Once again, easy flowing breath. Finding a big circle, so the movement becomes very efficient and easy. Wonderful. We continue from the sitting position. The first thing that we want to do, support with the right arm on the side, pulling the feet in a little bit, pushing into the right hand and pushing ourselves up into a squat. Now the squat, your heels can stay off the floor. For now, later on we want to have them flat on the floor. For now, you can easily relax there. To the side, finding the support of your arm, finding the support of your bum, extending out the legs and going to the other side. Left arm, pulling in the feet, up onto your feet into the squat, receiving the floor again. We're doing this from side to side. Each and every time maybe try to make sure to dip deeper into the squat to find smoother entries and exits from the sitting position to squat. And also use the breath to help out, trying to stay light and easy. The next few repetitions we switch in the squat, so going left and right in the squat, same side up again. You can try out different positions with your legs, maybe sometimes a little bit narrower together, sometimes a little bit more apart. Wonderful. Next up, instead of going into a squat, we go into a fisherman squat or shin box. That means supporting on the right, pulling in the right leg, so we have the shin that we can use to roll up into this fisherman squat. Going down, right arm, extending out right leg. Left side, pulling in left leg, and coming up. Sitting back down, extending, and switching here from side to side. You also have here the option to perform this movement in different angles, maybe sometimes more to the outside, sometimes really forwards and inwards. This is up to you to experiment a little bit where you want to go, having a smooth transition into fisherman squat constantly. In this fisherman squat, you can also try to really open up your hips a little bit more by squeezing towards the front foot with your hips. Wonderful. And we go to the last variation, which is the same thing, but with your toes on the floor. That means instead of bringing your shin there, we want to pull the foot inwards, very close towards the hand, and transition onto the back leg with your toes planted. From here, finding a way back onto your hand, sit bone, and outwards again. Pulling foot in and coming up. So this is a combination of both of them. It's not really a squat, it's not really a shin box, but it's something in between. This is, for example, something I use whenever I do rolls, backward rolls or forward rolls. I do not like to use the shin box to get into and out of the floor, but this variation so I can directly stand up from here. Also here you are free to try different angles, sometimes maybe a little bit more wide your base, sometimes a little bit more narrow the base, depending where you want to go. Very nice. From here we continue onwards onto our shins. From the shins, bringing the right arm with the outer edge of the hand onto the floor, bringing the right shoulder in contact with the floor and getting the head out of the way. From here we go up again and continue to the other side to understand how we can enter the floor onto our shoulders. Really make sure to open up your neck so you have a lot of free space. Side to side. Next step, going to the side, loading the shoulder by pushing into the feet and lifting one foot in the air. You can try both feet and you will notice that one foot is much easier, and this is the foot that you later want to use to roll. Staying in this position a little bit, pushing into the shoulder really tall, feeling the supportiveness, and coming back down onto your knees. Going back up again onto the other side. Onto the floor, pushing, testing both legs, seeing which is easier. And staying here for a brief second, trying to deload the head and load the shoulder more. and back down again. Repeating once again on the other side. Directly finding the nice leg. And maybe if you want to add easy hops so that your temporary balance only on your shoulder, very easy, onto your knees and towards the other side. Using the other arm also to support yourself, press into the floor, onto your knees. And we continue. From the shins, arm into the floor, finding this one-legged position, pushing into the floor, curling into a ball, and rolling onto your back, controlled and easily. From here, you can push with the arms into the floor, lift the pelvis, and pull both of the feet diagonally towards the same shoulder, and continuing in a diagonal backwards roll fashion. We repeat on the same side at first, shoulder onto the floor, pressing, slowly rolling, and coming up. If you can, you do not need to press into the floor, but can pull your knees back with pure strength and directly find a diagonal, receiving the floor with the left leg. And finding yourself on both knees again. If you fall to the side, this is part of the game. This is really about figuring out how to do this roll smoothly. Same side again. With practice, deload the head more and more and bring more weight onto the shoulder. Continue. And go towards the right side. Right shoulder onto the floor. Finding the support. Rolling onto your back. Supporting and finding the diagonal on the floor. It is definitely a mix of strength, coordination, and mobility, but with practice, obviously, you will get this. One last time. And recovering onto your shins. The last thing that we will be doing, some upper body warm-up and also integrating the upper body. The first thing, sitting on your heels, extending the arms to the front, inhaling with straight arms, and exhaling into downward or upward dog. Inhaling, straight arms push back. Exhaling, sitting down. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, upward dog. Inhaling. Exhaling, sitting down. Inhaling. Exhaling. Find a lot of length from your head into your feet, pushing tall. If you can't go into this position, you can also stay a little bit more upright like this. Inhaling. Exhaling, sitting down. 2 more times. Wonderful. We repeat the same thing but going from below, meaning inhaling onto your elbows, exhaling pressing up, diving through, inhaling, going back down, lying on your belly, exhaling, pushing onto your elbows, and back. Inhaling, coming to the front, exhaling, pushing up. Pin your shoulders backwards in this position, upright posture. Inhaling down, exhaling, pushing back. Inhaling, exhaling. Last time, inhaling and exhaling. All right, so now the last thing of the session will be a little improvisation. We have built some material, working on the floor, all the spinal stuff, working from floor into sitting, now all the squatting transitions, and then lastly the roll and the upper body stuff. So for the next 3 minutes, this is a free improvisation where you simply can try to continuously move without stopping and going from one element to the other. If you can't find very smooth transitions, that is completely fine, because this is about practicing exactly that. So the next 3 minutes, I will tune in some music. You can use this mood music or simply put on your own music, a song of roughly 3 minutes, and find a very nice and easy flowing sensation across the floor, exploring some of the patterns that we have done. Do not stress too much if you do not know what you should do. Maybe remember only one thing and simply repeat that until other things will pop up and you can continue with that. So enjoy this last part. 3 to 4 minutes, free improvisation, starting now. 30 seconds, find yourself in a lying position, just like we started this whole session. Reducing the movements more and more, finding yourself back into stillness. If you want to, you can close your eyes. Take yourself roughly 1 minute to feel out your body, how your body is feeling, your spine, the state of your body, if it is light and relaxed, how your breath is flowing. Open up your mouth as wide as possible and try to bring yourself to a very nice yawn. Very nice. And once again, finding a nice stretch in your body. Extending the limbs to the sides. Hoppa. Very nice. There we go. Follow along for you, using the floor elements in and out of the floor, across the floor, and allowing you to freely improvise with the material. Many videos are linked in the description below, so make sure to check them out. And if you're interested in more follow-along videos like that, make sure to leave a comment and state exactly that. If you are looking for more in-depth videos, more in-depth material, you can check out on my website the online coaching or the online education, the online courses about exactly this topic. Get in contact and we can sort things out. All the best to you. Thanks to my friend Flo here, and have a great day.